Welcome to Farming Aid and welcome to a world where history grazes the fields and tradition walks on four hoofs. In this video, we journey into the heart of the British countryside to uncover one of the most iconic and majestic cattle breeds the UK has ever known, the Blackbrook Longhorns. With their signature sweeping horns, striking coats, and centuries-old heritage, these cattle are far more than just livestock, they're living legends. Born from a passion to preserve Britain's agricultural roots, the Blackbrook herd stands as a symbol of excellence, sustainability, and cultural pride. Whether you're a livestock enthusiast, a fan of heritage breeds, or simply someone who appreciates the beauty of rural life, this story will captivate your imagination. Get ready to meet the magnificent animals that carry the legacy of generations, the Blackbrook Longhorns. The Longhorn breed itself can trace its roots back to the 18th century, and possibly even earlier, thriving in regions like Derbyshire and the Midlands of England. These cattle were once the pride of the English beef industry, known for their ability to thrive in rough terrain, their docile nature, and their superior meat quality. But over time, with the advent of modern farming and the shift toward faster-growing continental breeds, the Longhorn nearly vanished into obscurity. By the mid-20th century, they were considered rare and endangered, their legacy at risk of being lost forever. That's where Blackbrook Longhorns enter the frame, an ambitious, heartfelt endeavor by the late Barry and Margaret Albin, two visionaries who saw not just cattle, but living history in every horned head that grazed their fields. Founded in the 1980s, the Blackbrook herd has since become the gold standard of Longhorn cattle breeding in the UK and beyond. Nestled in the rolling fields of Leicestershire, Blackbrook is more than a farm. It's a sanctuary for British agricultural history. Every animal is carefully selected not just for its genetic excellence, but for its ability to carry on the legacy of this incredible breed. The Albins devoted their lives to preserving and perfecting the Longhorn, using a blend of traditional breeding knowledge and modern science to create cattle that are as healthy and productive as they are visually stunning. Under their stewardship, the Blackbrook herd grew to be one of the most recognized and awarded herds in the country, with numerous championship titles to their name and a global reputation that continues to this day. But what truly sets the Blackbrook Longhorns apart isn't just their pedigree, it's the philosophy behind their care. These animals are raised on lush, natural pastures, allowed to roam freely, and managed with low-stress techniques that prioritize animal welfare. This natural lifestyle doesn't just benefit the cattle, it also enhances the quality of their beef. Blackbrook Longhorn beef is marbled, tender, and full of rich, complex flavors that are highly sought after by gourmet chefs and traditional butchers alike. It's no surprise that this beef is considered a premium product, offering not just a culinary experience, but a connection to a slower, more thoughtful way of farming. In a world dominated by fast food and factory farming, Blackbrook offers a return to roots, a celebration of patience, quality, and authenticity. Yet beyond the meat and the trophies, there is something profoundly emotional about the Blackbrook story. It's about heritage. It's about memory. Each animal carries with it the DNA of generations that roamed these lands before tractors, before highways, before industrialization. The Longhorn's curved horns and mottled coats are like living fossils, physical reminders of a rural Britain that once was. And in preserving them, Blackbrook has done more than protect a breed. It has safeguarded a piece of national identity. Visitors to the farm often speak of the deep sense of connection they feel when walking among the cattle. There's something ancient in the eyes of a Blackbrook Longhorn, something that stirs the soul and reminds us of our shared past with the land and its animals. The farm itself has become something of a pilgrimage site for cattle enthusiasts, heritage farmers, conservationists, and curious tourists alike. With its picturesque setting and its iconic herd, Blackbrook offers an immersive experience that blends education with inspiration. School groups come to learn about sustainable farming. Breeders come to study genetics. Artists come to capture the surreal beauty of the Longhorns. And farmers come to see excellence in motion, how traditional breeds can be profitable, sustainable, and ethical all at once. The Blackbrook herd has also been instrumental in raising awareness of rare breeds and the importance of genetic diversity in livestock. In a time when monoculture dominates agriculture and disease threats loom larger than ever, the preservation of heritage breeds like the Longhorn isn't just quaint, it's vital. Blackbrook Longhorns are also living proof that heritage can be modern. Through careful record-keeping, DNA analysis, and smart pasture management, the Albins brought the breed into the 21st century without sacrificing what made it special. Their cattle have been exported across Europe and beyond, helping to seed new herds and expand the global appreciation for British livestock heritage. But even as they grow in popularity, Blackbrook Longhorns remain deeply tied to the values of tradition, quality, and integrity. That's why they continue to win top honors at prestigious agricultural shows, from the Royal Highland to the Great Yorkshire, where judges praise not only their physical conformation but the heart and soul that goes into raising them. It's impossible to talk about the success of the Blackbrook herd without also acknowledging the passionate human effort behind it. Barry Albin, a former jeweler turned farmer, brought a level of dedication and attention to detail that transformed his passion project into a national treasure. Margaret Albin matched his commitment with a fierce intelligence and nurturing spirit that ensured every calf born at Blackbrook was given the best possible start in life. Together, they turned a declining breed into a beacon of possibility. Though Barry sadly passed away in 2011, his legacy lives on in every Blackbrook animal and in the continued operation of the herd under Margaret's guidance. The story of Blackbrook is not just about cattle, it's about the people who believed in something bigger than themselves, and who had the courage to follow that belief through decades of hard work, triumph, and challenge. Today, the Blackbrook Longhorns represent more than just agricultural excellence. They are symbols of resilience. In a world that often forgets the value of the past, they remind us that the old ways still have something vital to teach. From regenerative grazing techniques that enrich the soil to animal husbandry practices that honor the dignity of each creature, Blackbrook embodies a future rooted in the best of the past. And for young farmers seeking a more meaningful path, for chefs demanding better meat, and for conservationists rallying to protect our agricultural heritage, the Blackbrook Longhorns offer a shining example of what is possible when passion meets purpose. Their story continues to inspire new generations of livestock breeders and heritage enthusiasts, from small homesteads to large estates, who now seek out Blackbrook genetics as a foundation for their own herds. The ripple effect is enormous. Thanks to the pioneering work of the Albins, the Longhorn breed has not only survived but flourished. It now enjoys a secure place in the Rare Breeds Survival Trust watchlist, no longer endangered but celebrated as one of Britain's most iconic native cattle. And yet, despite this success, Blackbrook remains humble, grounded in the same values that started it all: respect for nature, love for animals, and pride in producing something genuinely excellent. Standing among a herd of Blackbrook Longhorns is like stepping into a time capsule, a place where history lives, breathes, and grazes in real time. You feel the presence of generations past, of farmers who walked the same fields, of animals who bore the same horns, of traditions that refuse to die. It's no wonder that artists, writers, and filmmakers have turned to the Longhorn as a muse. Their visual majesty, their calm demeanor, and their symbolic weight make them more than livestock. They are storytelling icons, ambassadors of a Britain that still values craftsmanship, sustainability, and authenticity. And in an age of increasing detachment from our food sources, Blackbrook stands as a beacon, a reminder that good farming is not just about efficiency, but about connection. So the next time you see those sweeping horns arch across the English skyline, remember what you're really looking at. Not just a cow, but a living legend. A creature that carries centuries of tradition, decades of care, and the enduring legacy of one of Britain's most passionate breeding programs. Blackbrook Longhorns are more than beautiful, they're meaningful. They show us what's possible when we choose to honor the past, rather than erase it. They invite us to walk slower, farm better, and live more thoughtfully. And perhaps most importantly, they prove that sometimes the old ways really are the best ways, especially when they come with a pair of majestic horns and a heart full of heritage. If you ever find yourself in the countryside of Leicestershire, do yourself a favor and visit Blackbrook. Let the wind carry the scent of the fields, let your eyes meet those of a longhorn cow, and let the story of Britain's living legends speak to you, not in words, but in the timeless language of tradition, soil, and soul. And there you have it, the remarkable story of Blackbrook Longhorns, a living link to Britain's rural past and a shining example of heritage brought to life. These magnificent cattle are more than just symbols of tradition. They're proof that dedication, care, and respect for nature can preserve not just a breed, but an entire way of life. From their iconic horns to their peaceful presence in the pasture, Blackbrook Longhorns represent the very best of British farming, sustainable, ethical, and deeply rooted in history. As modern agriculture moves forward, these cattle remind us that looking back can sometimes be the key to moving ahead with wisdom and balance. If you've been inspired by their story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful journeys into the world of legendary livestock. Join us again as we explore the animals, the people, and the passion that keep traditions alive, right here on the pastures of Britain.